Okay, so I am looking at the Time and the Technosphere, the Law of Time in Human Affairs by Jose Arguelles. And I met him in 2010 at the 2012 conference that was there. And this book is signed by him. So there was an importance in me meeting him, which is coming into awareness now. And I just heard somebody talking about that they experienced this month like a kind of awakening where they saw a black hole of consciousness. And looking in this book, I see that he mentioned something called the Entropic black hole of consciousness. And it's talking about how we are creating false laws of time, which in Akashic Enlightenment, we're opening the Book of Life, or your Akashic Records, as well as the Book of Truth, which are the universal laws. So these are laws outside of man-made laws, which would mean that the laws of time that we work with here are man-made laws. They are not universal laws. Things like the Akashic Records are outside of human-made linear timelines, right? And so it seems that there's this black hole of consciousness. I'm just going to read what he writes about this. A calendar is a mental instrument for holding the programmed patterns of thought and behavior of a given culture, people, or civilization. A people can rise no higher than the program of time their culture imposes on them as second nature. A program of time determines nature of consciousness. Different timing programs scheduled by synchronically inaccurate devices within a biospheric whole governed by a universal timing frequency apart from the deviant human standards can only result in an entropic black hole of consciousness, the clash of civilizations and cultures that precedes the mentally cleansing force of the noosphere, and the inevitable return to natural time and the universal 1320 timing frequency. So there is a frequency that is being returned to us here. And I'm just looking. So the next page I'm seeing is the dynamics of time, showing the evolution of time as consciousness. Galactic brain or evolutionary spectrum showing index of energy mind progression from atomic, cellular, biological to purely mental conditions of being, right? And so this is basically where light language would come from. This is, you're going beyond the three-dimensional versions of time and you're going to a quantum field of time and working with matter on that level. Thus, when you bring in these frequencies, they are beyond the current time conditioning. So they're on universal law of one, also beyond laws of linear time that our world tends to function on. Okay, A Course in Miracles talks about this too, or does a brief introduction of it. And this is what these dimensional jumps are that we're doing out of 3D into 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, and continuing up. Okay. To my knowledge, the Akashic Records are 8th dimension, and fifth dimension. The fifth dimensional consciousness is going into a state of love. Sixth dimensional is adding wisdom to that love, and then seventh is you're merging all of these together. Eighth is the Akashic Records. So you are in a space of being in your soul alignment and co-creating your experience as you are going along, right? And so you're at a level that is basically outside of linear time completely and creating your world around you. Okay, so this would be instant manifestation, creation. So whatever you think and feel is what is going to occur. And this is why you've already gone through the phases of love and wisdom and being able to integrate these so that then you are stepping into a place of conscious co-creation, right? You are not coming from a place of patterns or fears or time loops or time patterns that are in a linear way of thinking. Okay, you are working with synchronicities outside of linear time in this world. So with this comes cosmic consciousness, a pure mind. You're connecting to God through, or God consciousness through like telepathy, higher knowing, synchronicities. Okay, and with this, it just continues to keep you living in a space that is outside of this, what some call a matrix timetable. Okay, and so Jose calls this the 1320 timing. Okay, and I'm just looking at this diagram. Right, so he's talking about the 13 moon calendar and that the Mayans use this for the cycles of time here. And the different realizations, or he's using fourth dimensional understanding of time, the time matrix. This is kind of what the, looks like it's a vector potential. It creates more of like a super consciousness. So again, this is that same going to the law of all that is, going outside of the linear time matrix system. So this is part of what is happening now, okay, as part of this awakening that is going on. We are stepping much more into a frequency creation. So I think it was last month when I was doing the live Q&A and the live channeling, they had me talk about frequency as setting everything. Okay, so they were already introducing us to this idea of what is really creating what is going on, and this is our frequency. So if we set our frequency to our truest soul self, and we are coming from a place of joy, wanting to just, not even wanting, but being in alignment with an experience that brings in that highest point of joy, this is where we are going to, okay? And, some of us come in and out of that, and we're ideally working towards going to that place where we're just in maintaining that, all right? And in this last month, just witnessing those around me reacting to the moon cycles, so the new moons and full moons that we had in June as well as July. There have been those around me that have reacted volatilely towards those and towards me due to whatever it is they are clearing out, right? They are in a space of projecting that reality onto me and speaking and communicating to me in a way that is coming from that time-space reality or pattern that they are living in, okay? And so this has given me the opportunity to observe this. And when we observe this, we're not stepping into their created reality or what the Book of Truth channelings that are in Akashic Enlightenment talked about as stepping into another person's lie. I'm actually going to open this up and read this to you as well. I think I've read it before, but I'm getting the prompt to read this again. So let me turn to the page here. So this is going to be in the Akashic Enlightenment book, okay, which is available on Amazon. And this is, chapter 8, okay? So, I think it's in here. Let me see. Oh, I think it's the chapter before this. Yeah, here it is. So, it's actually chapter 7. So this is Book of Truth, Volume 1. This is from via the Council of Light. Okay. And these are direct chapters from the Book of Truth. I've been told that the most effective way to access the Book of Truth is through your Akashic records, because then it is a personal soul-aligned lesson and higher awareness or enlightenment that is being brought to you. But they gave me these introductory volumes as a way of just showing the general knowledge that is there. Okay, and so one of these is they talk about lies, and that lies create holes. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. So this is on page 64, Book of Truth, Volume 1. What is a lie? A lie is that which is a false belief, close to that of lack of faith, but it is a belief that is not true. It holds a resonance of that which isn't love. Thus, it isn't creation, and thus it isn't. Now, because its energy truly isn't, when it is believed as true, it causes pain, for in its energy it holds emptiness. And this is felt as a lack of connection to anything real, a separation, for it holds no truth or love or creation. It is dead. It is dead energy when you move forward on your path. Soon you will feel a lie, as it holds no energy for you to create with. Thus you will not even notice it or see it. It won't cross your path, because you are so much pure love and pure creation energy. It cannot exist in your existence, because it holds no energy and is literally a void. Thus it won't exist. Thus, anyone existing in lies will cease to exist in your presence and reality and world. This is quantum physics. You cannot have a not in a real. What we mean is you cannot have a vacuum in nothingness. When there is nothingness, there is nothing for nothing to exist. Thus, they will cease to exist. That is what is happening now. As more align with love, lies and nothingness begin to cease to exist. And there was a little side note for me in this. They sometimes, when you channel, they refer to things that they know you're familiar with, right? And so these can be song lyrics, movies, books, anything of those references. And this personal note, they're talking about the movie The Neverending Story. And they're referring to the nothing. And the nothing in the movie came to destroy everything. It ceased to exist when the princess in the movie, she was given a new name. Because a new creation out of love, which is what giving her the new name was given to her, and thus the nothing couldn't exist anymore. So that movie, it actually is a series of books that was written, I think, in Germany, and it is a very, very spiritual story. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it is higher channeled material, and why they're using it as a reference. You know, movies are oftentimes acting like parables or shamanic stories in which we are learning things, right? And a lot of artists channel these things in. And I'm also realizing that, I don't know if you've watched Stranger Things. I love that show. And in season 3, 2 of the characters are singing the song, The Neverending Story. And it's basically like a phenomenon right now on Instagram. There's like a Neverending Story challenge. So people are literally singing the song and performing it. And I'm just having a full circle moment here when I'm realizing that that's what's been happening this month, right? People are binging Stranger Things 3 and singing this Neverending Story song, and ultimately it's relating to this same idea of not falling into other people's lies, not falling into the nothingness, not believing the nothingness, staying aligned with love and creation. And when you do that, this is what falls away from, causes everything else to fall out, right? And so when these incidents happen, it's kind of like, and you're becoming aware of them, this is the gateway out. Okay, because it's saying here that when you are in total alignment, they just won't even happen, right? And so I'm moving into this place where these things are just not even going to be happening anymore. And if you are familiar with Bashar, this is a sixth-dimensional higher awareness being that is channeled by Daryl Anka, and I love his channelings. A lot of them do resonate for me, and I believe it is, because he's accessing this same higher knowledge, this law of one, unity consciousness knowledge. And in that, he said that the year 2019 is going to be about a lot of shakeups and breakups, and basically moving a lot of these things out of our resonances as we are changing and shifting for 2020. Okay, so there is a lot of things coming full circle right now, and a lot of soul evolution happening at a very quick pace, which is why I'm recording this, because I feel like there's just a lot of channeling through right now as a consciousness of becoming aware of what is going on this month. For myself and for the collective, anybody who's listening to this, it's most likely that you are going through this in some way or another, or you will be when you are listening to this, whenever that is. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I feel like the aha moment and synchronicities of all these events and things coming together is coming to completion here in this channel dialogue here. So I think I'm going to wind up the recording here. I'm just checking in to see if there's anything else that they want me to share here. Okay, so I'm just actually going to read a little bit more here. Okay, this next lesson. So I already read about the lies. Okay, and now I'm going to read what the lies do. So this is Book of Truth, Volume 1, Chapter Lesson 4, Lies Create Holes. Lies create holes in time and space. Then there is a lie that creates a hole or a gap in time and space. For all time is all the time. This creates a hole or rip in time, for it is not real, it is nothingness. When there is a hole in time and space, it creates a gap in time. These gaps in time are where people fall. So when you feel you've lost someone that you knew, that is because they've fallen into a hole that is created by a lie. Now that is why you must align with love, for as you align with love, the lie ceases, and this sews up the fabric of time to create a seamless tapestry again, thus making the universe whole again. As a person makes the universe whole again, it perpetually creates more from this point. For now there is a stabler point from which to create. This is what is meant by aligning oneself with soul, source, God, all that is. For that is what is real, and that is the only place you can truly create from, as all else is just a sideline or a rip in fabric that waves around in the wind till you sew it back together again. That is why it is a waste of time or energy, or a loss of energy or time, that you do this. It is not aligned with love, God, creation, and thus you are choosing it as part of your separation of believing, inserting that which is not the truth of the universe. Now, how did these even come to exist? This is the part that is most confusing to you at this time. If all is love and creation, how do these lies even exist that create holes? They are your choice. You are given free will choice to choose the fabric and how it is written, and creating love. From here, you can create your own tapestry. When you create your own tapestry, though, you are literally in your own world. Then and not a part of the collective. You have taken a side detour to learn something of your own. This is not wrong or bad, but it is a lie in the sense that it is not the truth of the universe. Thus, we are telling you at this time so you can choose to do it or not. Now, for those who have been doing this for a long time, not knowing that they are creating and living in a world that is a lie and not the true universe, have some unwinding or repairing of the fabric of time to get back to what is the truth. That is why we are telling you this now, so you can fast forward this process now to be relived from the slow, painful way of doing this now. It is as simple as walking away and aligning in love. Love heals all. This is why Ascended Master Jesus came to show this. It was a pure example of what it is to align with love. Now we know this is a lot, and it is confusing at this time, but this is the truth of the universe, which you agreed to know at this time. And then it continues to go in talking about the true creation through love. Okay, and do this one last part because it's part of this. Once one is aligned in love and out of ego is when true creation begins to form again. That of the true dream state of the divine universe, of the divine law of attraction due to love as a state of true creation, as it is God as you are God. Once you are in this surrendered state, the God universe of yourself opens unto you, and you are truly free to join in the fabric of the all that is, the universe that is, and is connected to God and the Godhead, of its true valid creation ability and power of which you were originally incarnated into. This is the step all beings are attempting to get back to at this time. This is the original connection that was lost, a place of true creation as related to the original Godhead source creation. From here is where higher intelligences operate from. They have rejoined this consciousness level and free-flowing form of connection to the Godhead. Once they have, this opens endless possibilities. The endless possibilities is what the ego mind fears, for it renders it totally and completely useless, which is where you are heading now. This lesson states that no matter can exist without connection to the Godhead. Thus, any and all matter is connected to the Godhead, and it is a matter of returning to true love, and thus creation, and thus back to true self, which reconnects to their true will power of being as a being of God and part of God. This is daunting in the small reality currently present on earth as it is, and it is what is being returned to at this time and place. This is why this book is coming in now. It is now time to see past the veil that has been accepted as the limited truth. It is now time for the truth of the universe as it is present at this time and space, so it can too be transcended, which is the grander plan of all that is at this time and in all time of all times, present, past, and future. Do not fear. You will not be alone in this path, and it will be clearly unveiled to you upon the next following 3 chapters of aligning within in your own Godhead as you are. So it seems that a lot of this awareness of time and unwinding from false realities, false timelines, and a huge jump is occurring, right? And this is what this galactic cycle ending is bringing us. Okay, it's always there, but during these galactic time shifts, they are basically like portals or jumping points. And, you have free will. You can stay where you're at, or you can jump in. Okay? And that's what these lessons are talking about, right? You can create that false reality if you would like to, or you can jump into this new not new, true aligned reality, which will seem new, but it's always been there. It's just a matter of, were you aware of it? Were you able to see it? Okay, I'm just letting the energy settle here. There's just been a lot coming through, and also reading channeled material. There's a vibrational frequency that is also activating with that. So just letting these energies settle in here. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that this is helping you on your path at this time. This is what is coming to light for myself, and integrating all of this right now. And I know for a fact that this is also connected to what is going to be happening, or unveiling or deepening in this trip to Shasta that we are going. I was called to create this trip. It felt like a calling, and I know that there is going to be higher knowledge and downloads and connection with higher beings, right? What I just read was talking about how when you connect to this Godhead consciousness, they're talking about how this is where other higher intelligences operate from, right? And so as we connect to this for ourselves, we are able to connect to these other higher intelligences. So I'm feeling like all of this is really coming together, which is beautiful, right? This is what living in awareness and understanding what is going on a deeper, higher, synchronistic, soul-aligned level is about. We're stepping outside of any patterns or false beliefs that we are giving ourselves or that we are accepting from others. And we are asking to see the true soul-aligned truth in the Godhead, Source, all that is, love, our original divine blueprint selves, however you wish to view all of this, right? And so this is a beautiful time of great awareness and awakening. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful and enlightening for you, and that you are becoming more aware of your path through this and through whatever is brought to you at this time. If you feel called to join us in Shasta, you can. And my feeling is also, I'm seeing the call also to go to Hawaii after that. So everything is being synchronistically lined up. So I hope you are following your synchronicities as they are unfolding as well on this wonderful, magical journey that we are all on. So thank you for listening and subscribing and liking and sharing this video with anybody that you know would benefit from it at this time. Much love, many blessings. Oh, and if you need personal guidance or understanding, I do offer the Shamanic Akashic record readings and Akashic Enlightenment sessions, and also teaching you to read your own Akashic Enlightenment to accelerate your ascension and awakening process. So if you feel called to that, just go ahead and visit my website. All the information is there on these sessions, as well as being able to book an appointment. So much love to you. Thank you so much for being a part of this and following your path. Much love, many blessings, and bye for now.